we ready? Ready? Okay. I'll go ahead and call to order the February 7th, 2023 regular board meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Southgate's mission statement is learning for life. The vision statement is Southgate Community Schools, the best choice for students and parents. Brings us to item D, and I will entertain a motion on the agenda.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Green. Any discussion?
No.
Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have an agenda. Next is presentations. The 98C grant plan review, who's presenting that? Is that Mr. Lindsay?
All right, good evening.
Good evening.
The Michigan Department of Education requires that in the February Board of Education meeting, that we update the board on how we're doing on our academic goal progress that we set for Section 98B. The goal of 98B, there's a reading goal and a math goal, is to increase our growth by a factor of 110% from the fall test to the spring test for our students who are at risk. On the back of the memo, you'll see the data. In general, the data is looking pretty good. We are making progress toward that goal. We haven't reached the goal, but we're in the middle of the year. But we're on track. As a matter of fact, we are surpassing the NWEA expected growth for all but a few grade levels, which I'm excited about. And so this is...
Do you have a copy of that?
It's out here.
Does anybody else need one?
Should have been right at your seat. It's not there.
Does anybody else need one?
I have another copy here.
Oh, here it is. It's under the motion sheet.
Oh, it's on the back.
Yep, it's front and back.
Okay, sorry
Now,
about that.
now we're with Amy.
Okay.
It's right here.
Can you start that over again?
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to bring your attention to the areas in green, because green is good news, and that's how it's set up. In the middle column, those are all the areas where we are above 100% growth. In some areas, we're almost at our goal already, and it's not even spring. And in the far right is all the areas where we are at or above what the NWEA norms are for the entire nation. So our students are doing pretty darn good this year overall. Questions?
Any questions? Dr. Pomponio.
Does this include the gap with the pandemic grant for the students who are like trying to bring them ahead?
So the learning loss grant is something that we just was approved in January.
Oh.
But it was a interesting memo from the MDE because it said, we'll approve it, but we'll tell you the amount we're going to approve later. So we
Okay.
still don't know the amount on it.
Okay, thanks.
So we haven't implemented much of that just yet.
Okay. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yep.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is citizens' comments. This is the time for members of the public to come up and address the board. You'll have 3 minutes. Please come up, state your name and your address, and then, again, 3 minutes to say what you like. We'll start with Mr. Plowski.
Good evening. My name is Robert Pulowski. I represent the Wayne County Commission Youth Council representing District 15, Joseph Palomera, and I live at 12757 Chestnut Street here in Southgate. First off, I wasn't here for the last meeting on the 24th, so I'd like to make the statement today to congratulate our band and our color guard for their awards at the last meeting. It is well deserved. They earned it for all the wonderful progress they did over the winter and the amount of progress and the effort they put during their competition. So I'd like to express my dearest congratulations to them for all the hard work they've pushed. But the one thing I'd like to mention here today, and I'm pretty sure a lot of parents are here for this as well, is the statements that were made regarding Colette Narcia, the cheer coach for the Southgate Titans. I have spoken over the last 4 weeks with a couple students regarding this issue and the behavior regarding this. Now, as a youth council member, my job is to look at the issues, advocate for our students, but also, most importantly, empower our youth to be better than where we're at now. Our generation is suffering, but we need the more empowerment as well. And the behavior by Colette Narcia is very uncalled for in our district, and I truly don't condone this. I have been here for almost 17 years. I'm a senior graduating this 2023, and this is absolutely, I think, the worst I've seen in all my years being in Southgate. Now, I express my dearest, I feel, I'm not just disappointed, I'm even lost for words. Like, I'm shaking right now just by what I've heard, especially what happened the last meeting with Alana Woodby. A dearest good friend of mine. That is absolutely insulting to the cheer team. You guys put your dear hardest into this cheer team every day.
Mr. Pulaski, please keep your comments directed to the board, okay?
Yep, no worries. It's just disheartening, that's all. That's all I have to say. And I've been here for as long as I can remember. I'm a proud Titan, and just one thing for all, I want to see action taken on this, most importantly. Our girls should not be coming in and dealing with this trauma every day. They should be able to come in and feel empowered to cheer for their team. That's why they joined. That's why they spent half of their life training for this, because they love their district. And that's the most important thing. Thank you for your time, and I'd like to see some action on this going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I have Deja Clemens.
Good evening. My name is Deja Clemens. I live at 12391 Agnes in Southgate. I have 2 letters from past cheerleaders. I have Katie Kincaid and then Lindsay Barnett. Dear Southgate School Board and others, I am writing with proud support of Colette Narcia. I am a graduate of Southgate Anderson 2004. I grew up in Southgate, coming up through the Viking cheerleading program, continuing through middle school and high school football sideline cheer. Colette was my head coach for 2 years, but long before she was my direct head coach, she put Southgate cheer on the map, revamped the program, leading to multiple titles and giving back to the community. Colette is not only a dedicated and talented coach, she was a true friend while I was in the program. She gave our cheer team everything she had, time, support, juggling with personality of 16-year-old girls who could have, and she did with this grace and patience, all while staying a family of her own and coming into her career at a young age. While we can all agree that some times have changed, high school sports have changed, and there are more factors to go into coaching than showing support to a group of kids. What I can say is that I didn't have coaches who pushed me to be the best version of myself. I wouldn't have the drive, work ethic, or love for the sport that I carry with me today. Colette is one of the coaches, and I'm proud to have had time with her. With support, Katie Kincaid. My name is Lindsay Barnett, and I'm a graduate of the class of 2022. Colette was my coach from 9th grade on. She taught our team discipline and motivated us to work hard on the mat and in life. Colette loves her teams, this sport, and every girl that she has coached, from Little League to varsity. Colette has always gone above and beyond the duties of a coach. When my daughters were old enough, we joined the Southgate Viking Cheer League, and I'm proud to be able to tell my daughters that Colette was once my coach. Her impact on my life has had a positive, lasting effect, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to cheer for her. Thank you, Lindsay. And again, my name is Deja. I graduated 2018. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna, if I get the names wrong, I apologize. I'll do my best with some of these. So Allison Gottlieb, sorry.
Hello, my name is Allison Gottlieb, and I was a part of the state champion team in 2012. My experience with Colette Norcia has been nothing but an awesome role model and a coach from day one. She instilled qualities in me that I would not have today without being on her team. She has dedicated her time and energy to competitive cheer, even spending countless hours away from her own family to be with her second family, the cheer team. In school, I was quiet and timid, and that was until I became a competitive cheerleader in 7th grade, and I watched her and her team work hard for everything that they had earned. I yearned to be on her team one day, and I knew it was going to be hard work. She saw us for our full potential, and she pushed us to it every time. She knew we needed tough love, and she knew we needed to be built back up. She taught me to be confident in myself and my ability. She taught me discipline, goal setting, and what it was like to be a part of a team. Each of us pulled our own weight, and when we didn't, we held each other accountable. I am currently a teacher working with middle school children, and I see myself using these techniques that she has used to build relationships and push students to their full potential. Without the example that she has set for me, I would not be the teacher I am today. And that, I thank her for that, and I thank her for believing in me even when I didn't believe in myself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Renee DeCristofaro.
Is there a way we can get more of those? There's a few more people that want to speak. Thank you.
You
We
don't
don't
have,
need
you don't
those.
have to fill out a form. I'll call at the end. If anybody wants to talk, they can come up.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for letting me speak today. I have some,
I'm sorry,
Letters
your
I'd
name
like
and
to-
address for us, please?
oh, I'm sorry, Renee DeCristofaro, 21200 Wedgewood Drive, Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan, 48236. I do not live here. I live in Grosse Pointe. I have some letters that I'd like to distribute to you. There are 18 letters in support of Colette.
If you just
Yeah,
drop them
I'll
on the end, we'll
Drop
pass
them, we'll
them.
pass them on.
So you
we'll
can
pass
have
it.
your time.
Everybody's name is. I know I sent this to all the board members. I'm a former coach here in Southgate. My husband coached here at Southgate in 88, 89, 90, and 87. He is the first person in Southgate to win a state championship. Nobody else has won a state championship until Colette came along. Colette is, in my opinion, the best coach you guys could have down here. She instills discipline, she brings out the potential in everybody, and makes them a true team. I hate to see if anybody wants to get rid of her because there's a problem with any issue, because she's only there for the girls. She's not for anybody else. She has coached CYO, and I direct CYO. I've directed it for 30 years. She loves every one of her athletes. She motivates her athletes. The skills that she teaches her teams are very difficult, and she's able to showcase each athlete's strengths. Through her training and tutelage, each athlete competes at her fullest potential. She has mastered a plan that develops championship teams. She does. She's done it over and over again. I understand she's under scrutiny, and it shocks me. I have been through this before. My husband coaches at high school. He coached high school for 29 years. He's in the Hall of Fame, but he's also at a college. He coached college with my son, and he has come under scrutiny because he nicknamed one of his players the Italian salami. Well, Frank's Italian. I mean, he was just kidding. And this is what happens. It all blows proportion. And this is what is happening now. Colette doesn't deserve this. She's not one that will hurt anybody. That's not her point. She's here to build a championship team and instills positive things. If she's relieved, the competitive cheer program they won't be around. I mean, no one will come across and accomplish what she has. Please keep her as Southgate Anderson's competitive cheer coach to extend the Titan winning tradition. You deserve to keep a winning coach who is true to the sport. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Addie Jones.
Hello, my name is Addie Jones. My address is 11332 Kennebec Avenue in Allen Park. I am a Southgate Anderson alumni as well as a mother of a current team member athlete on the team. Several of the girls on the team had written a few letters. Obviously, they couldn't be here tonight. They have practice. They are in a crucial point of their season, with tomorrow being the league championships, and we have districts and regionals ahead of us. But I do have two letters that they asked that I would read, and they did want to remain anonymous. Dear Southgate School Board, competitive cheer is a sport that requires mental and physical toughness, determination, drive, and so much more. Coach Norcia has taught me all of those things. I have had lots of coaches through the years, but none of them have helped me build my confidence and mentality like Coach Norcia has. I go into each practice and competition with a better mindset because of the character she has helped me become. This has also helped me beyond cheer, in other sports and in school. Coach Norcia has built a remarkable program with athletes that will graduate high school with skills that will benefit them in the future. Coach Norcia has been like a second mother to me. I can say confidently that she would do anything for anyone. She would drop whatever she may be doing to help any one of her athletes. Coach Norcia brings this energy to practice that can lift the team up. Without her, it feels like a major piece of this team is missing. Standing on the mat before competing and seeing Coach Norcia in the stands is so motivating. Without her even saying anything, I can feel her energy, and it is extremely uplifting. Coach Norcia only wants what is best for ourselves and our team. She wants to see us grow individually and as a whole throughout the season. One of the biggest takeaways from Coach Norcia is something that she always says: you cannot grow if you are comfortable with where you are at. This is something that I will continue to say to myself forever. Myself and the team miss her tremendously, and our hope is to finish with a winning season with the coach that has inspired us with the difficult season that we have had. And that's from one athlete. Here's from another athlete. Speaking on behalf of a current athlete and student of Colette Norcia, I would like to express what I am feeling and have people hear my voice. I apologize that I am not here today in the room to speak, but I feel as if it is very important. I know that you haven't heard much from current athletes, but I know many people do not want to speak up. Over the past years, Colette has not only made me an amazing athlete, but has shown me how to better myself day in and day out. She has taught me how to push through anything tough in my life and how to be strong. I could never say enough of how thankful I am for her and how big of a role model she is to me. I personally believe that she is an amazing coach and that people should be able to be civil enough to see the good in people. What do people expect a coach to be? If a coach is not hard on you, then how are you supposed to win? Competitive cheer is a sport where you push yourself to win. Colette has won existing athlete state titles, and I believe that she has created the name of Southgate Anderson High School cheerleading. Athletes, including myself, are now emotionally drained, tired, and a loss at words. Colette Norcia has taken and led this program to so many great things, and I am positive that she will also will in the future. I appreciate you for taking the time to let me have a chance to speak about my thoughts and on this situation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kelly Leon?
I'm going to go through my letter, and then if I have time, I can get someone else's in.
Your name and address for us, please.
Kelly Leone, and that's 31756 Tovenia Drive, Brownstown, Michigan. I wish that the circumstances of my letter were not in front of you and that your time could be better spent serving the students of this district as a whole. That's not the case, so I do thank you for these 3 minutes. I'm writing to show support for Colette Norcia. I'm a grad from 2001. Colette started her coaching career my junior year. She coached me for the last 2 years of high school and has been a mentor ever since. There's 2 points about Colette that I would like to present to you: her coaching style and the ripple that has been made from her coaching style. What is Colette like as a coach? I could not find words of my own that felt accurate enough to showcase her incredible abilities to lead, but words from another strong female coach came to mind. That coach is Kara Lawson, and she coaches Duke women's basketball. She recently became a social media phenomenon for her powerful speech about easy and hard. As she addresses her team, she discusses the mentality of waiting for something to get easier, the next semester, the next grade, the next course, whatever it might be. If you can just get there to that next step, then things will get easier. Kara coaches her team that the reality of life is that if you want to be living your life with meaningful pursuit, you have to understand that things are never going to get any easier. They're always going to be hard, they will get harder, and the only way to combat that is simply for you to get better at hard. To make that mental shift in yourself, not to wait for the easy, but to strive for the hard, to respect it, and to overcome it. That is exactly how Colette coaches. She sets her athletes up for the challenges that extend far into adulthood. She taught me that hard work can be fun, and the work is always worth it. She's inspirational, energetic, charismatic, and caring. She is not perfect, and no one here is. But as the head of an elite program, you have to make very tough decisions, and sometimes those decisions come with regrets. That's the standard in coaching. How has her style made a ripple? Well, not only did Colette coach me, but she inspired me to go on to my own coaching career that has spanned the last 2 decades. I most recently finished a 10-year run at Trenton High School that covered 20 seasons. I have coached in direct competition with Colette for many years. I've been in locker rooms, warm-up gyms, coaches meetings, and more with her. She has never shown anything less than professionalism. I'm not the only girl that left Colette's program with a yearning to coach. I can think of 10 other girls coached by Colette just off of the top of my head that have spent time as coaches in the Downriver area over the years. Colette's coaching spawn, if you will, have gone on to win state championships of their own. They've brought much success to fledgling programs, and they've impacted hundreds, if not thousands, of girls, I'm almost done, in our area. Right now, 5 girls that I've coached are already working on their own teams, one of them being in this district. My point is that she makes a ripple and an impact, and it's far greater than what has been represented to you. Colette is a lot of things as a coach, but she's not who she is being made out to be. Thank you for listening. I do ask that you please advise administration to shut this crusade down and allow Colette to go back to what she does best, inspire and lead.
Amy Bernier? I'm losing the end there. It kind of tails off on me.
Hi, I'm Amy Berner. I live at 11465 Morningview in Southgate. I have a current athlete of Colette, and I'm going to read a letter from a previous athlete. I read this before I came here. I 100% agree. Colette works with my daughter every day for 3 and 4 hours a day. It is extremely important that she continues to push these girls. As somebody earlier said, things don't get easier. And if we teach our children that things are getting easy, they don't succeed later in life. Dear Southgate Community School Board, my name is Morgan Lockwood. I graduated from Southgate Anderson High School in 2013. At that time, I was the president of my class, graduated first in my class, and was a 3-sport varsity athlete. I cheered competitively for Colette Norcia from 2010 to 2013, during which we won 2 state championship titles. I am writing this letter to share how my experience with Colette Norcia positively shaped me into the person that I am today. I am now a medical student at the University of the Incarnate Word School of Osteopathic Medicine in Texas, and I'm a 1.5 years away from becoming a physician. You are probably wondering why I'm bringing this up in this letter. Well, it is because I can honestly attribute much of this accomplishment to Colette Norcia. Throughout my time as an athlete, For Colette, I learned valuable life lessons and was taught multiple different character traits that I carry with me today. These include, but are not limited to, drive, determination, reliability, a strong work ethic, confidence, time management, and the great importance of teamwork, and each one is essential to becoming a physician. I was never the best athlete on the cheer team and was never the most talented, but Colette always pushed me to lengths that allowed me to prove to myself that I was more capable of anything that I would have ever believed. My senior year, she placed me at the center mat for round 2, where I was front and center to showcase our incredible team's abilities. However, I was not the most incredible athlete on that mat, but Colette knew that if she put me in this spot, that I would rise to the challenge, a challenge that I did not think I could conquer, but yet I did. She knew how to individually push each athlete appropriately, just enough to allow them to exceed their own expectations of themselves. This breeds confidence, drive, and determination. And yes, this was pressure. But without learning how to undertake pressure and rise to a challenge as a high school athlete, how would I be able to handle the pressure of being in a class full of rising physicians who are constantly trying to outcompete me or prove that they are better than me? I wouldn't have. I would have crumbled under the pressure. But with that experience that I learned the skills to be able to overcome, step up, and succeed under pressure. I would have never learned the true meaning of reliability and teamwork without having had cheered for Colette. She taught me how to be reliable for others, uphold that reliability, all while working in a team. I learned that when others are counting on me, I am to do my part, and this will result in the gain of trust of your teammates, and when you do your part, others do their part as well. With this, I have been a successful medical student who has gained the trust of my peers as well as the physicians above me, who now work with me to help succeed in my future career. I have been able to carry these lessons with me while I work alongside nurses, PTs, OTs, NPs, etc. to care for my patients. Lastly, she taught me how to reach our goals. Every week we would create goals for ourselves and we would work endlessly until we reached these goals, not for her, but for ourselves and for our teammates. Such an important lesson to learn for others, and not only to work for yourself. This has put me miles ahead of my peers, as I have repeatedly been complimented on my work ethic, which truly isn't for me, but I work to make the lives around me better and easier. If it wasn't for Colette, I'd be working for myself. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Jamie Churches.
Good evening. I'm Jamie Churches. My address is 2122 First Street, Wyandotte, Michigan. I'm just stopping in tonight. I am the new state representative. I represent parts of Southgate, Riverview, Trenton, Wyandotte, Gibraltar, and Groseal. And just so you know a little bit about me, I've spent the last 10 years being a 5th grade teacher myself. I did my student teaching in Gibraltar. I served for 6 years teaching 5th grade at the Woodhaven Brownstown School District at Wigginga Elementary. And then I spent the last 4 years at Meridian Elementary for Groseal Township Schools. That's where I graduated high school from. I care deeply about education and about our community. I ran for state representative because I was ready to make an impact bigger than just the 4 walls of my classroom. And I want to just introduce myself and extend myself to you and the community as well. I'm here to listen to the needs of the school board, the administration, the parents, and the students. And I appreciate all of you. And I'm also the vice chair of the education committee. So my office will be reaching out. I will be able to give you legislative updates about what's going on. But I want you to use me as a resource when you stumble into something that you need assistance with, if you have questions. I'm still developing my office. We should have a newsletter out starting in February, so we will send you updates. If you want to sign up for newsletter updates, we'll send you information for how to do that. So I just wanted to communicate that I'm here because I want to build partnerships and build relationships with all of you going forward. So for the next 2 years, and thank you for having me tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kelly Cook.
Hello, my name is Kelly Cook. I live at 1430 Sycamore Street in Wyandotte. I am the owner of Downriver Gymnastics here in Southgate, and I have worked with thousands of students and hundreds of cheer coaches in the 28 years that I've been owning my gym. There are very few coaches I've ever come across that have been as good as Colette Norcia. I've seen good coaches, I've seen great coaches, I've seen bad coaches. There's only a few that are phenomenal, and Colette is one of them. I currently have 200 students at my gym, which means I employ 65 coaches. We adhere to a set of rules, beliefs, principles, and responsibilities at the gym. Colette would adhere to all of those same rules, and I would hire her. I hope that's not the case. I hope I don't get the opportunity to do so. She belongs right here leading these athletes. I'm going to refer to some of my notes here. By the way, I did send an email back in November also in support of this. I was told that that email did not make it to your desks. There's a copy of it. Renee, there's a copy of it up there? Excellent, there's a copy of it up there. A few more things. I've seen, over 28 years, I've seen lots of parents run good coaches out of the sport, and it's very unfair. Good coaches are there, consistent coaches are there year after year. Coaches or athletes come and go. The success of any program is not about any one athlete or any one group of athletes. These athletes will come and go. Over 4 years, these kids are gone, and new ones will replace them. The parents that are going to complain are going to find something else to complain about. If a good coach is gone and the success of the program goes down, those same parents are going to be there complaining that the team's not winning. They're going to complain that they don't like the bow the coach chose. They're going to complain because their kid has catechism on Tuesday and that coach called practice on Tuesday. There's complainers out there, and they're going to find things to complain about. And Colette doesn't just teach cheerleading, she teaches children. She teaches life lesson one toe touch at a time. These kids are learning hard work, determination, goal setting. They're learning to deal with failure. They're learning to deal with fear. They're learning how to be humble when they win and gracious when they lose. These kids are learning a whole lot more than just toe touches. And what's it take to be a good coach anyways? I've seen plenty of bad coaches, but let's talk about good coaches. Good coaches, they don't simply come there to collect a paycheck. Colette knows that it is not about the currency, it's about the legacy. She cares about the legacy of this program. I've seen bad coaches who lack knowledge and skill. We don't even need to discuss that. Colette knows what she's doing. I see plenty of coaches out there that don't have the knowledge and they put kids at risk. That's not Colette. I've seen bad coaches who don't inspire and motivate their students. I've watched Colette motivate her athletes. Motivation is short term. I've seen her motivate these kids to get the skill, to get through the practice, to win at the end of the week. And I'm almost done. I've seen, so those are short term. Inspiration's long term. Kelly said it best over there. There's plenty of coaches out there that Colette has inspired to go on and do what she does and inspire other athletes. There's lots of good coaches out there. There's lots of bad. She's phenomenal, and she should not be put through what she's been put through here. These kids deserve better. They deserve Colette. They deserve their coach back. She is their coach, and she should be back. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like a chance to speak who did not get a chance to? We'll start over here on the left in the front. Go ahead and start right here.
Good afternoon. My name is Jennifer Leonard. I'm a resident of South Southgate for 24 years now. We've brought it to the board's attention the things that have been going on with the students of these athletes. My daughter alone, who is present in this room, is literally shaking tonight. She is 17 years old and she should not have to be here to stand up for herself. I understand all these ladies are here for Colette, who she is a great coach. She has been a great coach. One example I have for them, for those who don't know, she has changed. My daughter was at a competition. After round 2, Colette called my daughter down on the bleachers. My daughter went back up. Colette called her back down on those bleachers. I asked everybody, show me the video. What did my daughter do wrong? Show me the video. My daughter stepped on her tuck. I have pictures of my daughter, videos of my daughter throughout the country doing tucks and landing them. She gets in front of that coach and she does a little step. The coach yelled at her, okay, she deserves it. Until my daughter signs sign language to me across the room, I am done, Mom. I can't do this with her anymore. I said, what happened, baby? What's going on? She signs to me. She yelled at me because am I only here for my varsity letter? A junior asking her if she's here for her varsity letter that she's had since freshman year. I'm sorry, she has an honors letter. She is an A student. She doesn't need an athletic letter. She's not there. She's been in the sport since she was 5 years old. She has hated the sport at this point. My daughter suffers from depression because of everything that's happened with her. So therefore, it is not about discipline and it's not about that. I've watched a wrestling coach rip my daughter up and down about what she did on the mat and told her how to fix it and told her to get back out there and this is how you do it next time. My daughter's okay with discipline. She's not okay with being belittled. Many of these girls have been belittled. We've brought stories to you beyond stories, and I hope you guys stay with your decision. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, a show of hands, if, well, I'm gonna start here from the left again, so here on the left, yep.
Hello, my name is Amanda Mata. I live at 15721 Windermere Street. I am a Southgate Anderson alumni cheerleader, class of 2002. Colette Norcia was my cheerleading coach for the 1999 and 2002 varsity football and competitive cheer seasons. Colette has played a major role in my life for the past 23 years as a coach, leader, mentor, friend, and someone who I aspire to be like. As a coach, Colette is a pusher. She pushes young athletes to their full potential. Colette pushes her athletes through her unique coaching style of reinforcing positive self-awareness, encouraging positive self-esteem, displaying respect through actively listening and effectively communicating with athletes, and providing constructive criticism to prepare her team not only to perform successfully on the mat as one, but to also prepare them to become successful adults. Over the past 23 years, Colette has been very successful with her impeccable coaching reputation. It is absolutely absurd that after 23 plus years of successfully coaching that these accusations of abusing young athletes would surface. I do not believe these accusations. I 100% stand by Colette Norcia and will defend and protect her reputation. Throughout my 23 years, I have been blessed to have Colette in my life. I have watched her pour her heart and soul into cheerleading. I have sat with Colette many late nights, watching her work relentlessly on projects for her cheerleaders. I have watched Colette dedicate all her personal time to cheerleading. I have watched Colette use her personal money to purchase items for her cheerleaders. I have watched Colette miss her own children's events to be with her cheerleaders. Colette chooses to dedicate her life to coaching and making a positive, lasting impact on each athlete she has ever coached, as evidenced by her large alumni support here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, show of hands. I gotta see who's next. Right here in the middle. You guys.
Hi, good evening. I'm Mary Jo Jeslow. I live at 15070 California Street, Southgate, Michigan. I'm writing this letter, as everyone else has, on behalf of Colette Norcia. I was a part of the Southgate competitive cheerleading team the first year Colette arrived at Southgate Anderson High School. I was on the competitive team all 4 years of my high school career, graduating in 2002. Colette was a phenomenal coach. She was fair, dedicated, caring, compassionate, and a great leader. Colette helped improve my self-esteem by her consistent encouragement, positivity, and respect. It was evident she loved her athletes and was dedicated to our well-being, both on a physical and emotional level. She believed in me and my teammates, and there was no other coach I would have ever wanted. Fast forward 20 years, I now work in public education and have for the past decade in the mental health profession. I do not take any students mental health lightly. It is my livelihood. And so the fact that I can stand up here and advocate for her and the impact on students that she's made and can full-heartedly tell you it's been a positive impact, again, I do not take that lightly. I work in this profession at the high school level in a local district here for the past decade. So I really hope that everyone takes in consideration what's been said here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else who did not get a chance?
The one in the back was.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's okay.
I think you're next anyway.
No, this young lady here.
Where?
You're going down the road. She was.
Sorry. Mr. Pulaski. Yeah, come on. You go. We're not stuck on a subject here.
It doesn't matter. Everybody's going to be able to speak.
Yeah, everybody will get to talk.
Everybody will get to talk who wants to.
Mine is not on that subject, but I just want to come here because my son has been a Southgate student since kindergarten.
I'm sorry, your name and address for us,
Jessica Stanley, 16016 Waddell. And you guys enforce bullying, protection, and all of that. But yet, when my son is bullied, the first time being called the N-word, being called a monkey, the kid, all he does is get suspended. The second time, my son, a ball is thrown in my kid's face, kid suspended, that's it. The third time, this kid just 2 weeks ago, said that he was gonna bring a gun to school, showed the proof of it, text messages, said he was gonna bring a gun to school, he was going to murder my kid. The kid was only suspended, not expelled. And I just feel like Southgate has failed my son. Southgate has failed my son. My son has been a student since kindergarten. I don't blame the principal. I blame the superintendent and the board because the principal did not have the final decision on that. I blame the superintendent for failing my son. Nobody protected my son. Where's the protection when it comes to bullying? What did he have to do? Bring the gun to school in order for you guys to do something? Nothing was done. I feel that you guys have failed my son. I have the text message, I showed all the proof, I made a police report, a statement. There's no reason why my son should be walking around fearful because he's called the N-word or be called a monkey. Like, where's the protection? I had to transfer my son, but now my son is still afraid. It's other black students there. The kid said he was gonna bring a gun to school. The statement says, I'm racist because you're a fat black faggot. There's other black kids there. Why is this kid still able to come back to school after his suspension? There's still other black kids. What about the other black students that's there? I removed my son. But what about the other black kids that's still there? Something needs to be done.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just telling you.
My name is Jennifer Sabo. I live at 31147 Autumn Day Street in Flat Rock, Michigan. I am also an alumni. I graduated in 2001. Colette was my cheer coach. She was one of my mentors. I never had her as a teacher, but I have sat in her classroom and experienced all of the great things that everyone has said here tonight about Colette. And I could go on about Colette myself, but everyone has pretty much said all the great things that I have to say about Colette myself. But this is a letter from Melissa Cabell-Watton, and I'm going to read it on her behalf. She says, I am writing this email on behalf of Miss Colette Norcia, Southgate Anderson varsity competitive cheer coach. I have known Colette since September of 2007, where we met as fellow cheer coaches. I just received a job coaching at the neighboring city of Trenton. Our program looked up to Southgate's elite program and envied the style in which the girls cheered. Colette was kind, encouraging, and always willing to give advice on how I could make a cheer program successful. She knew her job and never forgot to remind me that these are high school students, and you need to keep it fun and fresh. She told me to always have fun activities for the girls to keep them on their toes with theme practices and to build the girls up with critiquing. The girls respond better to honesty rather than sugarcoating and being fake. In the recent weeks, I have heard that parents and athletes are questioning Ms. Norcia's coaching style. It saddens me that a few parents and athletes can ruin what has been taken years to build. It saddens me that parents and athletes do not approach the coach in a professional or respectful manner to solve the problem, rather than take it above the chain of command. What are we teaching our athletes? Is it the job of a coach to discipline the athletes and to teach athletes how to be driven in order to rise to the occasion when a goal is in sight? It is up to a coach to make sure that the best of the best are competing on the floor. I am sure all of this was explained at multiple parent meetings. Varsity sports do not entitle any athlete the privilege to participate. It is the best of the best that get this privilege, hence the varsity level expectation. I have zero doubt that Ms. Narcia has handled her coaching responsibilities with integrity. She does not deserve this treatment, and it is time for the select parents and athletes to look at their actions and not throw stones in a glass house. It is time for parents and athletes to take into account their own actions and look deep inside themselves to see if they are really cut out for the commitment and dedication needed to continue in an elite program. It is far easier to complain than to communicate concerns and work towards a viable solution. Ms. Narcia deserves respect for the state championship program she has built, and the parents and athletes need to recognize that their issues are not necessary program issues. Thank you, Melissa Cabwatton.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Susan Patton. I wasn't going to speak today. There's a couple of people in here that I actually coached when they were younger. I am not discrediting my oldest daughter.
Please keep all your comments to the board.
Oh, I'm
okay?
sorry. My oldest daughter also did cheer with a couple of them, and the older, I have a 32-year-old. I'm not going to discredit how she was. I just don't want it to be taken away from how she is now. I personally, myself, went to Colette, like the one person just spoke that, go to her first. I myself did. I myself went to her first before I did any of this. I didn't want this to get out beyond the people that needed to go to, because that's not what I'm about. I wanted to go about it appropriately to not shame her. These girls were hurt in their own individual way. Do not take that from them of their abuse. I understand she may have been wonderful to them, and I respect that, I completely do. But some of the things I'm hearing is there's 9 that did not come back or have quit. I can't speak for the ones on the team. I know for my daughter, I'm here for her. Please don't discredit my daughter's hard work, because she came to practice every single day and worked her heart out. She would work at home. She came back last year even harder because she worked at home to better herself. What I'm asking for you is to look at the proof now. Look at the facts now of these 9 girls that have been touched in a way that they should not have been. I don't know how I'm saying. Should not have been abused by her words and by her actions. I guess that's all I wanted to say. Just don't take that from them, because they told their truth, and I feel that these people are only hearing a side that they haven't heard of our girls, and I wanted to keep that private because I didn't want it to go out. That's all. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else who didn't get a chance to speak?
Hi, my name is Mary Sabonik. I'm not a Southgate resident, but I went to Southgate my entire life, cheered for 4 years. I first wanted to also talk about what the woman back there spoke about. That sounds like a terrible situation for it to get that far and nothing to have happened. I think that's terrible. I really do hope you guys look into that. Like a gun being brought to school, that is so scary to hear about. I'm not a parent, but that's terrifying. Please look into that and make sure that never happens again. On the cheer issue, I cheered for 4 years at Southgate Anderson varsity cheer team, and I helped the team to its first ever Division I state championship back in 2012. I also spent the last 4 years, 2018 to 2022, as an assistant coach to Colette Norcia and the Southgate varsity cheer team. You guys heard everything everyone's saying. She's a great coach. She won 3 state championships. All those things are true. I had the unique experience of seeing her as an athlete, but also as a peer. And she is a strong role model, mentor, and coach. She is tough on kids, and she does not sugarcoat things, but life is tough. Life is not sugarcoated. So I think just take everything you're hearing with a grain of salt. Please listen to all sides, get all perspectives before any decisions are made. because I truly believe that she is a great coach, a great asset to this program, to this community, to this school, and I'm really saddened to hear everything that is coming up about her, so I just wanted to come up and speak on her behalf, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else who didn't get a chance to speak?
My name is Chelsea Springstead at 15691 Drake Southgate. I want to apologize for not being as prepared as the rest of the ladies, but I did get wind of this discussion, came straight from work. I would love to speak on Colette's behalf. She has been such a monumental mentor to everybody. Her encouragement, her lessons, everything about her is beyond cheer. The number one thing I can remember is anytime that we show up at an event is to leave it better than when you arrived. That means picking up other teams' trash, making it a better place than when you left it. I think that I've carried a lot of that attributes along into my actual career. I'm a nurse now. I graduated in 2008. I continued to cheer with her. I was a team member for 4 years. I coached with her for 2 afterwards because I couldn't get enough of her. And I then went to nursing school, lost touch a little bit. Fast forward to this pandemic, and out of the blue, I got a care package to my home from Colette and the team, telling me she was thinking about me, giving me words of encouragement, little trinkets. Just warms my heart that she still has this much love and this much care for an athlete that she hasn't even seen in years. I am saddened to hear of these accusations against her, and I truly hope that, like Mary said, everything is taken into consideration and her legacy and everything is considered before any move is made. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Paige Leonard. I live at 13489 Argyle, and today I'm going to be talking about Coach Narcia. The reason I'm going to be talking about this today isn't because I can't handle discipline or hard work. I'm a wrestler. I get yelled at and pushed every single day to be better than I was yesterday. The reason I am talking about this is because she talks down on kids and makes them feel like they're not good enough and calls them names. I was coached by her from my freshman year in 2019 to my last sideline season in 2022. I came into this program with so much passion and love for this sport. I had 10 years of cheer with so many amazing coaches. That love and passion was slowly drained from me with having a coach like her. My first year in this program started good, but slowly got worse. I was having a rough time with my mental health, and that was really blocking my tumbling. One time I didn't throw my back handspring, and she screamed at me to get off the mat, then after practice apologized for yelling at me, told me she didn't want other people to think that it was okay. This was only the start of her using me as example for everything I did wrong, which shouldn't have been the case. I am human and a kid. I make mistakes. My sophomore season came along and I was still hiding a knee injury from 8th grade, and it started to affect my tumbling. I tried to tell her about it and she still didn't believe me. She didn't believe me even when I got surgery on it after my sophomore competitive season. Even then I tried to hide it at my banquet because I knew she wouldn't believe me and just called me a liar. When it came for my sideline season of my junior year, I pushed myself to come back sooner than I was supposed to with my knee. She still didn't believe I had a knee issue because I had no doctor's note, even though you can clearly tell my knee had stitches and was swollen. This is just before everything got worse for me. My junior winter season, I was doing 2 sports, wrestling and cheer, which her and I spoke about before starting, and she agreed to it. I put cheer first over wrestling because no matter how much it mentally drained me, I still loved the sport. I tried not missing any practices or comps. I had missed 1 practice for a dual meet with wrestling and because they needed me. Before the meet, I had told her by text that I was going to be missing. She had called me a liar about texting her. About me missing practice should have been done one-on-one, not in front of my whole team and friends. She also, everyone would belittle me. I had a girl come up and say she was sorry for belittling me because she felt like she had to. There's video proof of her talking bad about me on a Zoom meeting, which was proven. I am a child. There is no reason adults should be talking about me to another adult. She then proceeds to let another girl do two sports like me, and she has not given her as hard of a time as she did with me. One of my last comps ever, my junior year, I was sitting down after round 2, waiting for us to go warm up for round 3. I hear my name called by Narcia. She then proceeds to ask me if I'm only doing it for the patches in both sports in front of all my teammates and everyone at that comp. I'm not the type to just break down and cry, but hearing those words hurt me so bad. I've been doing this sport since I was 5. Something needs to be done about this. There was 11 seniors, now there's only 4. How is this not a concern for everyone? She hasn't made it seem like I can't even be friends with the girls that are in team that I've been friends with since kindergarten. They won't talk to me and avoid me as if I'm a bad person for leaving this program. There's no reason an adult, coach, mother, and a teacher should be talking down on a kid. There are many ways to coach, however, her way is through intimidation. She has told us not to use her as a reference for anything, which I wasn't even beginning to think about. These are only a few of the things that she has done in my years of being on a Southgate cheer program, so many of the things I've chosen to forget.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? In the back?
Hello, good evening. My name is Julie Yodo-Vasilis. I live at 17314 Cedar Lawn Street in Southgate. My daughter's a freshman this year. She did Vikings with Norcia from the time she was younger. So this is her first year on the cheer team. I've heard some things that have gone on, said, hearsay, this, that. One thing I just want to say about here and now is that a few weeks ago, my daughter hurt her ankle. I was in touch with the trainer, and 2 weeks ago, Coach Norcia came to me right after a competition and said, your daughter's ankle hurts. We've had her rest. She was almost in tears this morning. I'm concerned. I want you to take her in. She needs an x-ray. She's not faking it. She was very concerned about her, even though she needed her for a competition. So the things that I'm hearing, I'm just a little confused because she was very sympathetic and caring, and my daughter sat out for a week. She missed a competition, and it was her well-being first. So that's all I want to say.
Thank you.
Anyone else who did not get a chance to speak? Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and close the public comment. Brings us to the consent portion of the agenda. That consists of minutes from the January 24th, 2023 special meeting and regular meeting, HR update, and January 2023 disbursements.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, a motion by Dr. Pomponio, is there support? Support. Support by Mr. Sage. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that passes. Action item number 1, approval of board policy package 23.1.
Yes, at the last board meeting, we introduced new policy language to represent the true nature of the way votes are done for committees for the board. And the first item was to change the language from the committee members as appointed by the board president to committee members that are appointed by the vote of the board. The second policy package revision was an addition of a DMS tardy policy. That would be a new practice that started second semester, and it would ensure that students understand and are accountable for their timely arrival to class while not taking instructional time from them. So I do recommend that both of these are approved, and I think we've had our first read, and it didn't sound like there were any questions that followed.
Okay. Bring the discussion back to the table and entertain a motion on action item number 1.
Make a motion to approve the board policy package 23.1 as presented.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support? Support. Support Support by Mr. Sage. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. Action item number 2, approval of the Anderson High School scoreboard package bid award.
Yes. I'll turn this over
Mr.
to our
Hardy's
Director
with
of
us?
Operations.
Good evening, Board. My name's Jason Hardy, Director of Operations. I'm here to request for proposal for removal and replacement of lighted exterior signage and electronic full-color live video display board in the stadium and LED scoreboards with amber red digits and audio system at baseball and softball fields at Anderson High School. I've attached a packet for your consideration. I won't go through all of these, I'll just touch on the points. I hope you had a chance to take a look. For option number 1, the stadium scoreboard sign, the proposal is to install a 16 millimeter LED full-color live video display scoreboard and audio system. It comes with a 5-year parts and labor warranty for all the products in the proposed bid. All licensing fees and software upgrades for the scoreboard is included also for 10 years. It includes unlimited support, and there's a 12 to 14 week lead time with a custom location and the trust to be approved by Southgate. For the baseball scoreboard sign, it's for an installation of an LED scoreboard and audio system, removing the existing scoreboard now and reusing the existing steel. Again, 5-year parts and labor warranty for all products. Licensing fees and software upgrades for there is a design for electromatic for both for all the baseball, softball, and football scoreboards. Option number 2, I'm going to point out the differences. This is from Daktronics. The differences between option 1 and option 2 is this is a 15 millimeter LED full live color display board instead of 16 millimeter. They've included a 5-year parts warranty and said nothing about the labor warranty. Licensing and fees and software upgrades were not included at the time of bid. There was nothing in there about the fees. 17 to 20 week lead time, and that's for the stadium scoreboard sign. Baseball scoreboard, again, 5-year warranty parts and coverage, 1-year warranty audio coverage, and they will all have the custom truss as option number 1 as well. Softball scoreboard, same thing, 5-year warranty parts and coverage. Everything else is about the same. I just wanted to point out the differences. And hopefully you had a chance to take a look at this. The scoreboard's base bid for option 2 was $364,351.11. On the electrical package, Daktronics did not bid on the electrical. We had Douglas Electric number for electrical. They included everything per the scope of work, and their electrical base bid was $96,900 for a total bid pack option 2 $461,251.11. And I've included some Daktronics references for you to consider. And I also included the images for Daktronics scoreboards. It is our recommendation that the Board of Education approve option 1, which includes the removal and replacement of lighted exterior signage and electric full-colored live video display boards in the stadium and the LED scoreboards with amber red digits and audio systems at baseball and softball fields at Anderson High School for a total cost of $427,350. And there's a difference between option 1 and option 2 of $33,901.11. Questions?
Any questions? Dr. Pomponio.
So what is the voluntary alternate for 10 millimeter football scoreboard ad? What is that?
So it's a clear display for $7,500 more. The pixels get shorter or closer together, which gives you a better display.
Okay, so you do have visual, there's moving pictures on that? Okay.
Yes.
I was just wondering because it just listed audio. Okay.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
The full color live video display is what will be in this, in the stadium.
Okay, so it is stadium, baseball, and softball. So the stadium is the football?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Sage.
Thanks.
In regards to the audio, so will the audio that's currently coming from the booth, is that now going through the scoreboard?
So it has a wireless mic package. All the audio will be on top of the booth. Is for the both. We're going to put the audio on top of the booth. So the stadium will be on top of the press box. Baseball, softball will also be on top of their press boxes, respectively. And you don't want to put it too close to the scoreboard; it'll interfere. There's, you know.
So the current sound system will be out?
I believe so. The speakers are on top of the press box this time, yes. And it comes with the wireless mic. There's a whole package included. I listed it here, but I didn't spend time
The
talking
same
about
company did the Woodhaven?
This Electromatic Visual Inc. did Oakland Community College, Oakland University, Holt Public Schools, Ford Motor Company, all the video displays at Ford is this company. Houston Texans, Meyer Foods Management, Calvin University, Dansville High School, and Langsburg High School is what this company's done so far that they provided references for.
What was Daktronics? Was that the second bid?
Yes, Daktronics, yes. So Daktronics has, you know, they have quite a few references, and you asked about what, Mr. Sage? What
No,
school?
So they did Woodhaven, Daktronics did Woodhaven's?
Woodhaven.
Yeah.
Woodhaven High School 2020.
and Trenton's.
Yes. They're included
That's
on the
ones that we
references.
can physically seen that we've been in their fields.
Have you looked at both scoreboards from both, like Oakland Community College and Ford Motor Company as opposed to Woodhaven and Trenton?
So Daktronics scoreboard was in my previous district. Both of our high schools had Daktronics scoreboards. So they're listed on here. I'm trying to look at the Seaholm High School in 2019. And they don't have it listed on here right now, but Groves High School as well. I don't know the date on that, looking at the references. So I have seen Daktronics work. They are one of the leaders in the scoreboard industry when it comes to high school scoreboards.
So what's the reason we're going for price for the other, for?
It is price, but it is warranty as well, and it is, looking at the two packages, it is the software that is coming along with it. There's the software package that comes with Electromatic. It's interactive, so you can give students iPads and they can capture the moments from their angle in the stands, and it will upload to the scoreboard. You know, someone's got to approve it, of course. They're not just capturing and sending. So there is some very good software capability.
The thing I like about the other one is that I know Central Michigan's really good, and then Woodhaven and E-Course, Trenton, and I don't know the Oakland Community College and Ford Motor Company. I haven't seen that, so.
Sure.
I'd like to see the quality, and I know you said the pixels and everything's clear, so,
But if you'd like, I can have a demonstration from both companies before you make the decision. We can table the decision and have a demonstration. They've both said they could do that for us.
Mr. Green?
I mean, for me, honestly, seeing a bunch of scoreboards, and I know we haven't seen electromatic per se, but if the Houston Texans, who are in the NFL, use them, that's good enough for me. I don't need to see, personally, I don't need to see both of them. I had nothing against Trenton or Woodhaven stuff, but if an NFL team is using this software, I don't think an NFL team's gonna go wrong using this software. That's just my personal take on it.
would we have to pay for software with the Daktronics additional from the 461?
They did not include that in the time of bid. We asked them for it, so there are fees for software, but Electromatic did include 10 years in there.
Okay. I'm good with the information, the software, and the price, but.
And if this is approved, we can change the display per se?
Yes, the location, we have an A and B location on the field too, depending on what side of the field we want it in.
How it's got-
And the arch, the custom truss is for our approval. They won't make this, it's custom. So they'll put up the board and they have to make that custom to add on top. So yes, for Southgate's approval.
Translation, Mr. Sage does not like that design. And
I don't
and to be perfectly honest, neither do I, but I just thought
I don't either.
I'd let him have his moment there.
So we're allowed to put, or we have the capability to put advertisements in that video or the video?
Yes. So I don't know if you saw the photo, but at the bottom here, they're showing advertisements that you can change out on the display.
Okay,
So yes, it has the capability for advertisements.
okay. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Any other questions for staff? Okay, seeing none, we'll bring the discussion back to the table and entertain a motion on action item number 2.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the bid award to Electromatic Visual Incorporated for the Anderson High School scoreboard package, including stadium, baseball, and softball, for an amount not to exceed $427,350.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Green. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Action item number 3, approval of shared services contract.
Yes, I'm happy to bring to the board an opportunity for the district to engage in a service that it had engaged several years ago. Many years ago, we were providing teachers to local parochial schools to help them cover elective courses for which part-time teachers were needed. It was difficult for parochial schools to hire for a single art class or a music class, for instance. And along with many other districts statewide, Southgate stopped providing these services when costs exceeded the revenues that were generated for that support. But with an ever-growing need for parochial support across the state, there is a new model, which is shared services that was developed to contain costs by using a third party designed to provide the support. We're able to provide participating parochial schools this service and receive a 23% indirect cost return. The company that provides this service, School Financial Solutions, is the one that is used throughout Michigan and has become the preferred option for parochial schools. They have had a working relationship with them in past districts, I have, and have found that their expertise has provided a positive experience for parochial school and supported the district systems. They're very competent, thorough, and I've attached their scope of service, the work that they would do. We are permitted to outsource for the support of parochial students for a total number of students that equals 5% of our fall count. So this is a legislative pupil accounting opportunity. The legislature acknowledges that parochial schools need support, and they will allow state funding to cover elective courses run through public school systems. We, as parochial schools, ask for this. The companies that support that look for districts who will be a partner. Right now, they would partner us with Oakland Christian School, and they would make sure that 70% of the FTEs that we collect from the state are used towards the costs of teachers for that particular program. Those teachers are hired by Oakland Christian School. They are part of that institution, so they have made those selections. We provide, though, the financial support, and they use our district to do that. That would give us a 23% return, which would be about $350,000 for the first year, and then would grow to 370, then to 400, depending on our population. So we would be able to grow by 10% annually. This would cover the revenue gap that's left behind by not operating Beacon. So we did find that we put way more costs into operating Beacon than we were ever given the funds to do, but there was some indirect cost return, and this would help bridge that and establish a revenue source for us long-term. It would also provide very competent support to our HR systems and our pupil accounting systems as well as they work with us. So this is a recommendation that I'm making, that we go ahead and sign that contract. It would start in the fall of 23-24. The contract would start in March because they would start working on their staffing models as well, and that relationship would start very soon. So I am recommending that as a source. I do have here representative from School Financial Solutions, Jamie Dingus, if you have any questions as well.
Any questions? Dr. Pomponia?
I guess I need a outline of what we are paying and what our return is and why, because I'm just learning a little bit about it. I didn't get a lot of information on it, so I'd
So
like.
in your packet, there is the cost returns and all the responsibilities that are delegated to both as well.
I have that, I just don't know, is it just something that we're a vehicle for that to go through?
We are a vehicle for that. So the way the model works at the large scale, the company provides us with the payroll that we would offer to those individuals that were there, and the payroll would come through us. They would work with our HR systems, and then their count would come through our pupil accounting system. So all the money would come to us, and we would receive 23% of that indirect. The company receives 7% of that, and then 70% is used for supplies and for the teaching costs associated with it. So there's no, it's a return on that for us. There's no other costs associated with that.
And I know we have shared services with food service, but that's something totally different.
It is, but it's very similar to when we expanded service to Creative Montessori. So we said, hey, we have our food service. Creative Montessori needs somebody to provide school federal meal support, and they used our system to do it. And by engaging in that particular business model, we have been able to raise our wages for our food service employees because of the revenue that we've received through that. It has been a huge asset to that program, and we're operating pretty significantly above that bottom line because of it. So this would be a very similar model.
Okay, thank you. I don't know, I don't have any other questions for you, but I do have a question about the ongoing renewal. It says renewed every year, so that's something we have to have?
It would be a 3-year contract, is what I understand.
Yes.
We can choose not to, is it after the 3 years?
After
or-
the third year, if you notify me by March 1st, we could discontinue the service. I've been doing this I've taught in shared time for 7 years, and I've worked with public school districts for 12. No one's ever canceled a contract.
Okay.
Because it seems to be benefiting all parties.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Sounds roughly like they need us, and we can use
Bless you.
them, and so it's an intermediary kind of working to the benefit of both of the schools.
Correct.
And I would say
What it's
that
designed to do.
if our high school students enjoyed their course catalog this spring and all the options that they had, shared services does require that we have an extensive number of offerings because in order for them to count towards us providing support for the public schools or for the parochial schools, they have to be in our course catalog.
Oh, that's good.
So it does hold us accountable to a wide selection of offerings that, in order for those to count.
So they can't offer what we don't offer.
Exactly. They can't offer what we don't. So in order for them to have a wide selection, we do too. So if you saw a really strong catalog come out with a lot of options for students that had a lot of that support too, that base as
Thank
well.
you. Okay. Sounds good, thank you.
Right, thank you.
Any other questions for staff? Seeing none, I'll bring the discussion back to the table and entertain a motion on action item number 3.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the shared services contract as presented.
A motion by Dr. Pomponio, is there support? Support by Mr. Sage. Any discussion? I'll just go ahead and say this seems like a win-win. I mean, I don't see where we're at any risk here for anything, so I think it's great that we can do this and replace some revenue that's potentially lost. And with that, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. That brings us to the last item, which is adjournment. Take motion on the adjournment.
Mr. President,
Mr. Green.
make a motion to adjourn tonight.
A motion to adjourn by Mr. Green. Is there support? Support by Mr. Sage. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you very much.
No, Sharon.
I didn't know there were any.
We took care of that.